So we finished up with the shots. So a little bit more information about the shot. This is a little bit of a just an informational sheet on your vaccinations. This will tell you some things to look for. You may see your puppy have a mild temperature that day. They may have don't feel as good. It's kind of like just like giving a kid a DPT shot. So this puppy may be a little bit lethargic that day, maybe not act right, maybe a little bit off. So it's not something to panic about, just to be aware of what could happen. If you are concerned at all, if you want to take their temperature ranges is 101. So you can take their temperature, but normally you don't see really anything. You just see maybe a mild reaction to where they don't feel good, kind of like your kids did with a DPT shot. So I did put that in there just for some information from you. Oh, and there's my other new vet paper that's hidden down the back. So like I said, there's a couple of them in there, and the other two, I think the other one has a lot more information than this, but you'll probably get them both till I run out of the old ones. Okay, so let's get in here a little farther. The other thing that will be on top of your crate, beside your health card, is going to be your spay-neuter sheet. This is going to tell you, of course, if it was a male or female. If it is a female, the stitch is required to come out in 10 to 14 days. When they're done by laser, it's a little teeny tiny incision. Usually there's no more than one, maybe two stitches in their belly. And honestly, the day after it's done, they're back up playing like little banshees. You can't even tell that they've had anything done. The only thing I really like to warn people about is if you have kids or even yourself, when you get this puppy home, don't pick it up with a belly. They don't act like it hurts when you do that, but I can't believe that there isn't some discomfort to that. So I kind of pick them up from the rear end and the front end and leave their belly alone. And I would not let the kids drag them around or hang them over their arm. It's not going to be real comfortable for her. Stitch will come out in 10 to 14 days. Honestly, we give them a bath, we hose them off. There's really nothing you can't do to these guys once they've had that done. We've never had an issue with it. I know my sheet tells you do not get it wet. They go outside and lay in the mud. They go outside and lay in the dirt. There's times that they've gotten so muddy I've had to come in and give them a bath and scrape the dirt out of their stitches. So it's not a like you envision it, like most people remember their dog getting stitches at 6 months old and they had to wear the plastic collar, and there was a huge line of stitches down their belly. You don't see that with a laser. On a male, honestly, unless you rub your finger over their scrotum, sometimes you can't even see the knot. The knot is so tiny. There's one little stitch and you can't even see an incision. I don't know how they do it so slick, but I'll tell you what, it's really a slick way to do it by doing it with laser. And people say, oh, well, it affects their bladder, it affects their growth. It's all a wives' tale. It does not. We've been doing it for, I don't know, close to 12 years. I have a lot of my dogs that have gotten to be 12 years old and past that had it done. And a lot of people ask me, since we're on the lifespan length, I guess is a way to put it, most puppies, unless it's a really large breed dog or an English bull, something like that, most puppies will go from 10 to 15 years. I've had puppies go 16 and 17 years. So a lot of it is environmental, a lot of it is care, a lot of it is their diet. It's the same with us. Common sense makes a huge difference with your puppy. So, but the spay-neuter doesn't affect it. Doesn't affect their personality. It's so much easier on them. I would never go back to doing it the old way. So there is also for your vet. So this is something you're going to want to take to your vet along with your health card. So both of these are going to go to your vet with you. Your health card, and you may get a pink or blue one. I have pink and blue. If I'm in the mood to make them all out different, I'll do pinks and blues. But otherwise, you get a white if I'm in a hurry. So both of those will go to your vet. The microchip number is not necessary to take to your vet. Your vet's going to scan your puppy anyway and record the chip number on his records or her records. So this has got Dr. Dar's name, address, phone number at the bottom. It'll have the date of their spay-neuter. It'll always also have their microchip number on it. This is something, depending on your county, when you go to get your puppy tags, and that you'll have to check with your county as to what age you need to do that. A lot of times, if you show proof of spay or neuter, you will get a reduced rate on your tags. So I'm not saying you're going to get it for sure, but there are counties that will go up to 50% for a spay and neutered puppy. Some counties will even sell you a lifetime tag. It just depends on the state and the county you live in. But this is your proof of spay neuter. So make sure you keep a hold of this, take this with you. If your county or whoever sells the tags has any questions, Dr. Dar's phone number's on the bottom. They're welcome to call her to confirm anything. So that's in there. Let me stick this. I'm going to kind of stack this as we go. I'm trying to do this in order so I don't tell you lots of things different times. So the big thing that I really like, and that I think is really helpful, this is going to be your supply list. So you're going to get this in your folder. It's going to have all these numbers to call. You can get catalogs from these guys if you call all the numbers. I can tell you that Revival and Jeffers are the two biggies that I use primarily 99.9% of the time for medical at all. If you go to Revival on their website, in the top right hand corner, they have I think it's a student's cap maybe, and it says instructional videos. Take a look at that. It will tell you anything about a dog you want to learn. When you get your puppy home, 10 days after you get it home, if you start seeing a loose stool, you could have coccidia. Stress causes that. It's in their system. It's in your gut also. But when they're really stressed in a new home, new environment, new everything, a lot of times it will let that bacteria grow in their gut. So they'll tell you in Revival how to fix it. There's lots of things you can do yourself without doing it through a veterinarian. I cannot even begin to tell you. It's amazing. Jeffers also is really good. They both have an in-house vet. If you do not get questions answered the way you feel should be when you're talking to their receptionists, I know Revival's girls are required for, I think it's 6 months of training before they're ever allowed to go on their own to talk to clients. So they're really, really good. They deal with large kennels all the time. Very equipped to handle most home problems. They're not going to diagnose you over the phone, so you need to know a little bit about what's going on with your dog and what you think it probably is before you do anything. But lots of things you can take care of yourself. Jeffers is a good place to go. And Nature's Pharmacy, which is up at the top, it's a great, I'll give you a catalog. I usually keep them here. And if I'm sending you your folder, I'll try and remember to stick a catalog. They don't always send them out to me willingly. I don't know why, but I work on them to keep catalogs here. Anything you want to do homeopathically, they will do for you. Anything. It can be as far as, she raises Great Danes and shows at Westminster. So she also makes her own homemade dog food. She doesn't believe in bagged dog food, but I can't help that. I'm not making my own food. But she'll help you do whatever you want. They've got a really good catalog, and they also do homeopathic for people. So check them out. The other one is Pet Edge. Pet Edge is the best place in the world to buy lots of stuff. They do not carry anything medical. It's strictly grooming supplies and scissors and clippers and anything to do with grooming, they carry it. Tables, you name it, for at home. On down this list is, there's a company called PetShed.com. You can buy your own Revolution, Advantix, any of the Heart Guards that we carry here, you can buy from them. And the other one that is really helpful is, I'm going to give you a bottle of our shampoo. I don't know how much longer we're going to do it because it's getting too hard for me to buy bulk 5-gallon buckets of this shampoo anymore. But for now, we are giving you a 4-ounce bottle of shampoo, but there will be a point that I can't do it any longer. It is a 55% concentrated shampoo. It is totally tearless. There's no sodium, there's no detergent, there's nothing in this to strip the oil from the dog's coat, hurt their eyes. I have used this for 20 years. I swear by this shampoo. It's not available, unfortunately, at the pet stores. I don't know why. I really don't. But you can get it off of Amazon Prime. So check that out. It's just called Puppy Tears Shampoo. And you won't regret it. It's really an awesome shampoo. I also like their purple shampoo, which is called Wild Thing. They also make an all-natural flea shampoo that you can wash 2-week-old babies with if you had to. Doesn't hurt anything. Does not hurt an older dog either. If you've got an older dog that's got skin issues, it is not tearless, but it's phenomenal for fleas, and it's called Dr. Fleas, and it's Flezz, I think. So check that out. You can check their website out too. That's on your list when you get it. And they've not had anything when they're here as far as, I don't feed lots of treats. I'm just not a big treat fan. I do cottage cheese in the morning. So they've had cottage cheese before they leave here. Pumpkin in a can. Go to the cheapest, junkiest brand you can think of. Pumpkin is pumpkin. So it doesn't matter what the can says as the label, so long as it says 100% pumpkin in it. Pumpkin is great for them. It's got a lot of trace minerals. It's got a lot of fiber. It's got a lot of water content. So it is really good for them. Tablespoon in the morning is great. If you give them too much, they're going to poop orange, so don't panic. And the only other thing they've had here is dry food. Now, if you're getting a really tiny, tiny, tiny puppy from me, which I don't know how much longer we're going to do the tiny ones, I do start them on a little bit of canned food once a day. Not in their dry dog food, but just as a calorie boost. I also give them the cottage cheese, and I do a lot of raw hamburger. Raw hamburger is a biggie around here. The fatter, the better. It makes nice, healthy, fat little puppies, and it does a really good job. So what we're going to send you home with is Victor dog food, and I'm going to include a picture of that along with this video. Victor is available at some farm stores. Otherwise, you can get it from Chewy.com. It's a red bag, and I think it says High Energy Plus, maybe, I think is what it says. But I'll send you along a picture of that so you've got it. And, golly, what else can I tell you on here? There is a list of dog foods on the bottom of here if you don't want to use Victor. I would tell you right off the top of my head, Taste of the Wild is really good. Nutro Plus is really good. American Naturals is great. The biggest thing is look for a bag of dog food. Do some dog food shopping ahead of time. Make sure the back of the bag says no corn, rice, or soy. So the first ingredient should be meats of some type. You can have blueberries. You can have sweet potatoes. You can have rice as a filler, so you're paying a lot for nothing. So stay away from the fillers. So your fillers are corn, rice, soy, anything like that that's a filler grain that doesn't really have any nutritional purpose. You might get a little bit of graining on down in the bag. Sometimes I've seen, I can't even think what it's called, but there's another grain they stick in there. But if you concentrate on the first 3 ingredients as being a meat, it's a much better dog food. And the word puppy does not have to be on the bag. Puppy is a marketing tool because people have a new puppy. They think they have to have puppy food. You don't. The better quality dog foods out there, you can feed a bag, and a lot of them are getting away from the word adult. And I was at a convention and had dog food companies there, and dog food companies are getting away from the word adult and puppy. So you're going to see a lot more of the one-size-fits-all dog food. It's not like babies, human babies, where they have to eat soft food and work their way up to hard food. These little guys at 3 weeks old start crunching on puppy food, dry. I still call it puppy food, I apologize, but mine doesn't say puppy. I use American All Naturals for my really little tiny guys because it's a tiny kibble. And then I move them up to Victor, which is a bigger kibble by the time they go home. So just something to think about with that. There are a little bit on there about the other brands you can use. I would stay away from things that are advertised on TV, only because you're paying a premium for their dog food because they have to pay for that advertisement. So there are a ton of good dog foods out there that do not advertise on TV.